Since purchasing the rights to one of the most iconic properties ever, Star Wars, from creator George Lucas in 2012, Disney has had a rocky relationship with the fan base. The original trilogy appears to be universally adored and recognized as one of the finest trilogies of all time. The prequels, once widely derided, have even found a place in people's hearts. Disney also developed their own Star Wars trilogy, which has mainly divided fans, but they also released films like Rogue One and countless more hit Disney Plus series. So in today's video, we'll try to weigh the positives and the negatives of the shows. Let's get started by looking at the bad side. Inconsistent spin-offs. Rogue One is the lone exception to this rule, which is widely regarded as the best Star Wars film. Many additional spin-offs, such as Solo: A Star Wars Story, were flops. This is because Disney is over-promoting Star Wars with projects that have nothing to do with the saga. The Walt Disney Company has transformed a classic film property into a cash cow. With increasingly worthless Disney-directed spin-offs on the road, Star Wars is no longer the beloved franchise it once was. Disney's Star Wars is politically incorrect. Movies are a reflection of society, and they should clearly allow for the incorporation of political viewpoints. But Disney's Star Wars takes it to the next level. Consider the case of Rey. Fans have expressed dissatisfaction with how quickly Rey learns everything from controlling the Force to piloting the Millennium Falcon. She's flawless in every way, the polar opposite of how Star Wars protagonists progress through their learning curves. Disney Star Wars takes far too many creative liberties in pursuing political correctness. It works wonders and provides food for thought in adequate quantities. It appears cringe in huge doses. Introducing new characters who aren't necessarily important. Several new characters were added to the new sequel trilogy. Rey, Finn, and Poe are all significant figures in the Star Wars saga in their own right. However, Disney's Star Wars has introduced a slew of insignificant characters. Captain Phasma appears for a brief moment. Supreme Leader Snoke was designed to be killed only in The Last Jedi. And let's not even get started on how they made their debut and squandered General Hux. DJ is another character from The Last Jedi whose scenes could have been cut entirely from the film and made no impact. Bad side plots just to have side plots. The story pacing of the Star Wars films isn't exactly award-winning, but at the very least, George Lucas knew exactly what he was doing. In comparison to Disney Star Wars films, Lucas appears to be the Steven Spielberg of a galaxy far, far away. Disney's Star Wars suffers from poor story pace. The subsidiary plots are so confusing at times that they completely obstruct the flow of the main plot. Consider the casino scene in The Last Jedi and Han Solo's confrontation with the tentacle creature. They had nothing to contribute to the progression of the plot. Those scenes simply happened to be present. Not understanding what the Force is all about. We had no idea the Force could be utilized to call friends a million light years away. Luke making astral projection with the Force in The Last Jedi appears plausible, but the way they spontaneously transformed Leia into a Force user capable of flying around in space like Superman wasn't something we thought we needed to undo. These powers are mentioned in the Star Wars novels, books, and comics. However, in Disney's Star Wars film, they're dropped on us like a bomb from nowhere and ask us to remain silent. But hey, there's always a balance between good and bad, so let's look at the positive side. Expanding the universe. In contrast to the feature films, the shows have largely been used to explore the expansive Star Wars universe. By filling in the gaps between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, the animated series The Clone Wars significantly contributed to the expansion of the canon. It demonstrated the universe's complexity beyond the Skywalker saga by introducing a myriad of new characters and locations, and developing existing characters like Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi. After The Clone Wars, shows like Star Wars Rebels and The Mandalorian kept pushing the envelope and debuted fresh characters like Ahsoka Tano, Din Djarin, and Captain Rex. Fan favorites like Darth Maul and Boba Fett were given more major roles in these series because they were willing to take chances. The unifying force, reuniting the Star Wars saga. The Clone Wars series is a testament to its transforming power when it comes to boosting the enjoyment of the prequels. This engrossing show fills in the blanks left by the films, resolving dangling narrative lines from The Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, while deftly creating the groundwork for the dramatic events of Revenge of the Sith. It introduces memorable characters like General Grievous and Saw Gerrera along the way, laying the groundwork for their future appearance in the films. Furthermore, beloved characters such as Anakin, Obi-Wan, Yoda, and Dooku are delved into deeper, strengthening our comprehension and commitment to their travels. The Clone Wars has an impact that goes beyond individual films, as it weaves a more unified tapestry through the Star Wars world. The devotion of Lucasfilm to unification is clear in their television series lineup, which includes The Bad Batch, Rebels, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and The Mandalorian. These shows not only create compelling new stories, but they also strive hard to fill in the gaps left by the films, stitching together a cohesive narrative that ties the entire Star Wars saga together. While the sequel trilogy of The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and The Rise of Skywalker sparked debate among fans, Lucasfilm's attention has switched to previous eras in order to reclaim their following. In this way, The Mandalorian and Obi-Wan Kenobi have won, engaging audiences with their intriguing storylines. This isn't to say that the sequel trilogy will be forgotten. It's only a matter of time until Lucasfilm returns to that age and begins the process of reconciling its story in the same way that the prequels did. The novel Star Wars: Shadow of the Sith, which dives into the past of Rey's parents, has already made the first steps in this direction, giving light on hitherto undisclosed portions of the second trilogy. Fans may look forward to a future where all the parts come together, forming a tapestry that beautifully intertwines the whole tale, thanks to Lucasfilm's dedication to connectedness and continued commitment to growing the Star Wars universe. Diversity in a galaxy far, far away is a good thing. As fantastic as the original trilogy is, there isn't much diversity outside of Leia, Carrie Fisher, and Lando, played by Billy D. Williams. The prequels perform a slightly better job, but the sequels and subsequent spin-offs produced by Disney have made it a point to diversify Star Wars. To mention a few, Finn played by John Boyega, Rey by Daisy Ridley, Holdo by Laura Dern, Saw Gerrera by Forrest Whitaker, and Jyn Erso played by Felicity Jones are all essential characters brought by Disney into the Star Wars universe and have had a big impact on the franchise. Excellent. Disney Plus extends canon. With Marvel and Star Wars under its control, Disney Plus has emerged as a prominent streaming service for two of the world's most popular franchises. They've done an excellent job of expanding on existing characters' tales, such as Boba Fett, played by Tamora Morrison, and Obi-Wan Kenobi, played by Ewan McGregor, as well as introducing new ones, such as The Bad Batch. Other series, such as Andor and Ahsoka, also follow in the footsteps of the previously established characters of the same names. Whether or not you enjoyed the shows, Disney's making an attempt to offer fans what they want. The Mandalorian is a good show. Well, we can't just ignore this, but The Mandalorian, Disney's crown jewel, was among the first original shows to be released on the site. The show, which stars Pedro Pascal, was conceived by Jon Favreau, with Dave Filoni, writer and director of The Clone Wars, serving as an executive producer. After the sequels, the show was a breath of fresh air. An intriguing and unusual Star Wars script that took familiar concepts and characters and created something fresh. As the series progressed, more renowned figures like Luke Skywalker, played by Mark Hamill, and Ahsoka, played by Rosario Dawson, met paths with The Mandalorian, much to the delight of fans. Well, there you have it. So what's your take? Share your thoughts in the comments section below, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content. Check out one of these other videos from our channel. Until next time, may the Force be with you.